Just when we thought stimulus programs are over with, it turns out there's a remaining option that can be bigger than the $10,000 EIDL, bigger than the $20,000 PPP, and you don't even need to request forgiveness. I'm talking about the ERC. The ERC was a massive flop of a stimulus program, only with a small percentage of businesses actually getting funded. At first, it was just way too complicated to apply, and it got no attention from the media, but it's since got far more accessible over time, and that's why I felt the need to make this video so you don't miss out on essentially free money. And if you're wondering why I'm talking about this, let me share a quick story. For about a year, it was my life's mission to ensure every small business got the funding that they were entitled to through stimulus programs. You're not going to believe this, but I actually made 109 different videos on the Paycheck Protection Program and 87 videos on the EIDL grant program. I'm telling you, I was addicted to this. I was even honored to have Bill Briggs, the head of the entire Paycheck Protection Program at the SBA, on my channel the day the program launched. So it only feels right to do a video to chat about a massive opportunity that's still out there. I applied for the ERC for my moving business during the pandemic and received $29,235. So let's discuss how this works, who's eligible, and what you need to do to apply. Also, if you're not a business owner, I'll have something else at the end of this video that you can take advantage of to make some additional money with this program. So how does the ERC work? Essentially, this program pays you for having employees between January 1st, 2020 and September 30th, 2021, as a kind of thanks for keeping employees on payroll during the pandemic. And it's important to note that if you received a PPP loan, this does not prevent you from applying. Instead, weeks covered by your PPP loan are simply deducted from your ERC calculations. Now, what's crazy about this program is you can actually receive up to $26,000 per employee. Let me explain how the math works. For 2020, remember this is retroactive, eligible businesses can receive up to 50% of gross wages paid to employees. They can receive that back as a credit, capped at $10,000 in wages per employee. So let's do an example. Susie is your employee. You paid Susie $8,000 in 2020. To calculate the credit, you'd simply take $8,000 times 50%, which would result in a credit of $4,000. Now, let's say you paid Susie $50,000 in 2020. You would take $10,000 of that, the maximum amount per employee, multiply that by 50%, which results in $5,000 deposited into your account for this credit. Now, 2021 is where things get really crazy for this program. For 2021, eligible employers can receive 70% of eligible wages, and even better, wages are capped at $10,000 per quarter per employee for Q1, 2, and 3. The program stops after Q3 2021. So let's say you paid Susie $15,000 per quarter in 2021. You would take $10,000 of those wages each quarter multiplied by 70%, which is $7,000 per quarter, which means you can get $21,000, up to $21,000 for Susie's wages for 2021. And you can do this for every W-2 employee. It's pretty amazing. And you're not going to believe this, but the average total credit size is actually over $200,000 per business deposited straight into that business bank account. The details are all written on the tax code directly on the IRS website. Now, there are 3 eligibility requirements that we have to discuss. First, your business must have at least one W-2 employee and fewer than 500 employees. Most people have fewer than 500 employees. Now, unfortunately, your own employment wages don't count. And second, you have to have been in business since February 15th, 2020. And third, you need to be able to certify either a revenue reduction or that your business was impacted by the pandemic. The most straightforward way here is the revenue reduction route. So for 2021, the requirement is quarterly revenue reduction of 20% or more when compared to the same quarters in 2019. So you'd be comparing like Q1 to Q1. For 2020, the requirement is a quarterly revenue reduction of 50% or more when compared to the same quarters in 2019. So for both 2020 and 2021, you're comparing to 2019 before the pandemic. However, if you don't hit the revenue reduction criteria, you can still use the alternate method. If your business was impacted from the pandemic in any way, including delays in supply chain, changed hours, lowered capacity, canceled meetings, or any disruption, you are eligible for this without showing that revenue reduction. And this is all in the fine print. And the good news is this means nearly all businesses with employees are eligible for this program. And at this point, you might be wondering, why is this program not more popular, or why haven't I heard of this before? And let me explain the issue here. Most CPAs are not helping businesses apply. This isn't anything wrong with CPAs. It's because this program falls into this weird no man's land. CPAs are tax experts who would typically file for credits, but CPAs don't always do payroll services for businesses. Typically, businesses will use third-party payroll services, so it's actually up to your payroll provider to file the required forms to get you this payment. This actually happened to me. I reached out to my accountant personally to see if he would submit the ERC paperwork for me, and he wouldn't. And after talking to many other business owners, I found that this is very common. Now, it's worth reaching out to your accountant and payroll provider to see if they can do this for you. If so, that's awesome. You're one of the lucky few. If not, I found a service that will do this for you. They'll do all the paperwork for you, and I actually had a great experience with them personally. Now, it's free to apply, but they get paid a percentage of your credit if you're eligible. So that's really important. In fact, they have this really handy tool that tells you if your company is eligible and how much you can receive from the ERC. I recommend checking out this tool whether you plan on using them or not. That way you can do it and then decide whether this credit is worth pursuing for you. In order to use the calculator, you can click the link in the description and then click Begin Qualifying. From there, it will ask you some basic questions, then a bit to certify your revenue reduction or negative impacts from the pandemic and how many employees that you have. From here, after filling everything out, it will show you how much you can receive from this program. I inputted 5 employees and you can see the massive results. From here, there are a few documents that you will need to upload no matter how you apply. If you end up using this service, you can connect directly to your payroll provider and they'll grab all the documents for you, or you can do it manually. If you do it manually, you'll need 2 types of documents. First, you'll need all quarterly 941 payroll reports from Q1 2020 to Q3 2021. So 7 total reports. Your payroll processor will have these reports. And then second, this one is really important. You'll need a detailed payroll report for 3/13/2020 to 9/30/2021. This is a report that outlines payments, deductions, contributions, and taxes for each paycheck for every employee in that entire time period. Again, your payroll processor will have this. Just make sure the report includes all payments, deductions, contributions, and taxes for all employees broken down by check. Otherwise, you might have issues later. And there you have it. That's all you need to provide, and the massive ERC credit is all yours. Now, there are some important points that I need to make before you go. First, this credit is not taxable. However, you must reduce deductible wage expenses by the amount of the credit. So let's say you have payroll costs of $50,000 and you get a $10,000 ERC credit. You will only be able to write off $40,000 of your payroll expenses against your taxes. This is a rule so you can't double dip on your taxes, but of course, getting this credit is still a massive benefit. Now, second, this credit takes a while to get. The minimum time right now is 16 weeks due to IRS processing times. So if you're interested, I highly recommend getting started today as the program is getting more popular and you don't want to have to wait way longer than 16 weeks if it fills up even more. So go out there and get the money that you're eligible for. Now, as promised, I have a way that you can benefit from this program even if you don't have employees. The company that processes ERCs has an affiliate program. Now, typically, they reserve this affiliate program only for CPAs and payroll companies, but I was able to negotiate with them and get this opened up to my subscribers. This means not only can you help out your business owner friends and family, you can also make great money for recommending your friends and family. So you help them and you help yourself. You get paid 20% commissions on any fees generated. This means if the average business's ERC is $200,000, you can make $4,000 as a nice little side hustle for helping out a friend. It's crazy. And the best part is I've done all the work for you. You can just take this video and show it to your business owner friends, and you don't even have to explain what the program is or how it works or what is needed to apply. So there you have it. You know what to do next. If you have a business, go and get your money. And if you don't have a business, sign up and help out a friend. And that's going to do it. I would like to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.